So, without any further ado, I think we've got Geoff. Yes, looking forward to Geoff's testimony. Come on up, Geoff.
So my story goes like this, and I'll try and leave out a fair bit of detail so that it's not a long story, just a nice little short story. But I love sharing my story, and I said to Jesus 33 years ago, I will share it forever, if it means that it would affect one life. And so 30 years I've been sharing this story, and 30 years I've loved to share it, and I say that here today. I just feel honoured to share it. So a little 15-year-old young city slicker in Mulgrave couldn't find work as a carpenter, goes to Druin to live with his uncle. And I was a nothing. I was a little boy inside that couldn't talk. I had no idea how to communicate with anyone. And I was just going up to the country, and it was going to be a big scary thing. And so I'd already started drinking at this stage. And so I got up there to Druin, and everyone drinks in Druin. And so I slotted in really well with that culture. Guess what? I felt normal. Some of you guys will relate to this. We drink, we feel normal, feel bulletproof. I found a voice, started playing footy, started drinking more. I got wild, and my name around the town was the town grot, because if there's a party, the grot would turn up and the grot would perform for us so that everyone would laugh. So I ate the most ridiculous things, I drank the most ridiculous, and they laughed at me, and I felt like, I found myself. Little did I know that inside I was crying out to find real life. The outside, the exterior had found something, not the inside. And so anyway, here's the story quickly. Got a girl pregnant. I didn't want the baby, she did. And so she was going to have it. And I bolted to Queensland and then realised I'm a runner, this is terrible. And I come back and we had our child up in Queensland. And my little boy became my world. And so now I wanted to try and work out how I could be a real dad. Slowed down on the booze, got a little boy, went back to Druin, back to the country town, and the boys, the mates were still too huge in my life, so I was back in the pub drinking, and the town grotted entered again, and so she left me. And so she had every right to leave me. And my life fell to pieces. And again, not too much detail, but I was suicidal then. I was drinking, and the boys, the men in the pub had nothing for me. Marshy, just come up the pub and have a few more drinks and it'll sort itself out, you know. And it didn't. So I went to my mum's, and my mum started talking to me about Jesus. And I rejected her noise for a long time until I couldn't reject it anymore. And then I said, I'll come to church, and had all these conditions and went to church with her. And that was the day. That was the day that he met the little boy that was crying out. And my life radically changed. Well, I'll tell you something. My little boy is here. He's here today. He's up there in the green. He's the boy that I had 30 years ago. And, I will lead, and I will lead well. I will lay down my life. My God has chosen me, and I'll lay down my life. Now, it's so costly that you'll be rich forever. You will be rich forever. And I feel that. And I'll end with, this is what happens. Me and my boy go and just do this relationship for the last 20 odd years. And Daniel rings me one day, it's a while ago. He rings me one day and he said, Dad, would you come away with me? I said, yeah. He said, oh, cool, I'm going to take you to Vanuatu. I said, awesome, just you and me. And he takes me to Vanuatu. You know what? When we miss out on all the birthdays and the little celebrations and all the stuff because we're absent dads, our God can make it all up. And so I went away to Vanuatu for a week, and I cried for the whole week, didn't I, Dan? I cried for the whole week. You know why? Because God was just making up all of the bits that I missed out on. All of the stuff. And we cried and we cried and we cried, and we spent this precious week together. And now we work together, and we go and help those struggling, and now we hang together, and now we're so on the same page together. If we follow him, pursue him with everything, he gives us back so much that it's so rich that we get, we don't miss out on anything. So I haven't had a drink for 30 years now, and I don't miss it one bit. Do you see what happens? He replaces with real substance. Real substance. And I am going to go and tell this message for the rest of my life, that men, you got the fake, you got the facade, you got the short end, and now Jesus wants to give you the real deal. I'll tell you what, it's a message worth sharing to people, but not everyone want to hear it. You go back to your church and you tell them that sort of message, they'll probably ask you to leave. We went to a Baptist church couple of weeks ago, and I spoke about discipleship. Real disciples make disciples, and it was almost like, get out, you know. So Father, come. Now just do what you want to do, Father, not through my words, but by your Spirit. Challenge us richly, Father, that if we become complacent, if we have our phone beside us and we become complacent, Father, I pray that the conviction is so strong that we can't hold it anymore. Yes, that we become repenters that say no more, no more, no more. That's enough. We've had enough, Jesus. We want the real deal. Amen.
I just wanted to say something. We just wanted to pray first for Geoff, sorry. Sorry.
I can't talk. I'm a man and I'm okay. But I hurt. I've done this stuff too. I'm getting over this, don't worry about it. I'm feeling some stuff. This is real. This is very, very real. Thank you. That's all this is. Thank you, Jesus. Heavenly Father, by your Holy Spirit, through the power of Jesus Christ, I ask that you reign and reign abundance on Geoff Marsh. Rain abundance of life, so that he has such an overflow of life amongst this death that he sees, amongst the destruction in this world that he deals with, that he has an overflow from his fullness. Father, keep him full and give him an abundance of overflow, I ask in Jesus' name, that he may stand in power forever, for as long as he is on this earth to do this work. Abundance and life, the light that is in men, you, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you.